El Chupacabra, a critical look at an enduring fallacy. Slidecast by Kitty Cirincione. Chupacabras serve merely as a proxy for a desperate populace seeking solace in a unifying rumor, giving corporeal qualities to their anxieties in order to better unite in a communal hunt against which they cannot understand. That being said, chupacabras are not real. The topics I will discuss in this Slidecast are as follows: the origins of El Chupacabra, supporting evidence, evidence against their existence, and a brief overview of why I think they were created as a legend. Chupacabras are a mythical creature originating in Puerto Rico in the 1990s. They have since spread throughout Hispanic culture as an icon of terror. Gaining population in the U.S. in the last years of the century, now cryptid enthusiasts hunt them feverishly, constantly searching for shreds of evidence as to their existence. Myriad sightings, recordings, and even corpses have been found, but still there remains no hard evidence for their existence. The word chupacabra means goat sucker, because reportedly, goats are their favorite prey, but they have also been known to attack all manner of farm animals. Their signature style is puncturing the neck and exsanguinating their victims before possibly disemboweling the animal, but leaving the flesh untouched. Physical descriptions vary widely, but they place the monster at somewhere between 2 and 20 feet tall, with glowing eyes, large claws, gray or scaly skin, a foul smell, and sometimes they even have wings or spikes. It can walk on 2 legs or sometimes be quadrupedal. It really all depends on who's describing it. While most people don't believe the chupacabra is real, there is some supporting evidence. Multiple eyewitness accounts exist, such as those describing the creature. In fact, there are hundreds of depictions, but oddly, few seem to match exactly. More plausibly, however, is myriad photo and video evidence recorded all over Mexico, the southwestern United States, and beyond. Shown here is a video still from a 2008 YouTube video of a retreating something. While the video is grainy, as are many others, it does seem clear enough to show that identification is not simple. One piece of anecdotal evidence comes from 2 men from rural Puerto Rico who were absolutely convinced that they had encountered the chupacabra in person. One night, while fishing, they claimed they were beset upon by the beast. Fleeing for their lives, they sprinted towards their village. Leaping behind them, the winged creature tore through the trees, missing them by inches. Once they had escaped to the safety of their house, the fiend gave up the chase, but not before tearing through fences and structures near the house, leaving a sulfuric smell in its wake. It can be argued that this is evidence for the animal's existence, as clearly no other beast in the known world can act in such a way, and no man-made creation of the 90s was capable of this feat either. Along with photographic evidence, there have been other signs as well. One of the most damning is the carcasses of farm animals, killed with the distinctive puncture wounds to the throat. One woman in Texas even claims that 26 of her chickens were killed over the course of several months. What makes these kills most unusual is that they were almost always left for the farmers to find the next morning, with very little flesh having been consumed. Curious indeed. Similarly, there have been signs such as damaged fences or sheds, something not indicative of a common nuisance animal. However, most significant of all are the corpses that have been found that cannot be identified as any known species. When the finds are made, the bodies have even been known to draw media attention and crowds in the hundreds. However, DNA results of these specimens have been inconclusive. Which leads me to the main point of this presentation, the evidence that proves El Chupacabra is merely a fairy tale and not a real animal as provable by science. There are logical explanations for just about everything that has been accredited to the Chupacabra over the years. This includes mange, a common disease that can prove fatal to animals and produce many of the same signs that would lead to a mistaken sighting of a mythical beast. Similarly, drought can drive normally timid animals near human dwellings as their desperation sends them to seek different food sources such as livestock. In fact, Chupacabra sightings have been known to spike during times of drought or when disease rates among local wildlife have risen. Of the bodies found, DNA results have shown that most of these animals are in fact canine, generally coyotes. Some other animals commonly mistaken for chupacabras include raccoons or the naturally hairless xolo, an ancient Mexican breed of dog. The reason why these coyotes, a commonly known animal, were mistaken for mythical creatures is because of their shared affliction of mange. Mange is actually an infestation of tiny mites, causing many of the same details that categorize the chupacabra, including loss of fur, gray or scaly-looking skin, protruding spine from starvation, fangs appearing to be longer from lack of fur, and a malodorous scent from rotting tissue. Additionally, while journalistic evidence does exist, it's mainly of poor quality or can be disproven by experts, much like pictures of Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. And as of yet, not a single credible scientist has found any proof of fur, tracks, or even scat that could lead to a conclusive classification as a new species discovery. Lack of historical data also weakens believability of the myth. Why is it that Puerto Rico, an island of only around 300 square miles, could have contained a large predator for so long and have it only be discovered in the 1990s? Even if this were a transplant from a different ecosystem, there is no animal in any kind of fossil records or catalogs of extant species which shares these common features and could have been an ancestor from which it evolved, or a specimen of the same genus. All of this, to me, is enough to discredit any evidence that proves the existence of the chupacabra. It shows that groupthink and despondent people are capable of great feats of imagination. With futile thoughts abound and images dancing in the darkness just beyond the peripheries of sight, a daring legend was born out of sick animals and extenuating circumstance. Nevertheless, the chupacabra remains a fascinating topic of study, worthy of further research.